Hello, welcome everybody. It's William. Welcome to my channel. So you're watching a serious video about app development, and in this very short video, I'm going to solve. I think it's not so short, but just bear with me. I'm going to solve a problem that you might encounter when you update your iOS development version to iOS 17, and some parts of the code that your original do will get deprecated. So the onChange, I think, is a really powerful, and we often use it a lot. It's the most frequently used the code in the iOS development, and it's deprecated. So you might encounter this warning. The reason that is the warning is that you can still use, but you're just not going to rest assured that it will be supported for a pretty long time. So Apple may just discontinue this. Okay, so I'm going to help you guys to solve this warning. Okay, so in order to solve this warning, let's make a new project. And by the way, if you're new here, if you stumble upon my channel, welcome, a warm welcome to you guys all. And this channel is all about game development, about app development, about incorporation of artificial intelligence, and you're watching a serious video about app development intro, and we got all sort of serious tutorials completely for free. And yeah, by the way, the best way to support this channel is to subscribe to the channel and give the video a thumb up. Currently, right now, I'm unemployed, to be honest, and hopefully this channel can be the only source of revenue that I would get. And yeah, so please help me to reach that monetization hurdle. Thank you so much. And without further ado, let's get started. Let's demonstrate this by simplifying the project. So if you're not, you haven't watched my previous project, this is just some demonstration of how to build a image gallery, and how to actually take photos and select photos, and then add that to the image, okay, and update that, okay. And let's just quickly name it 17 change, okay, changes, something like that. And iOS, maybe just add iOS, and the rest of it we don't even need to change it. Yeah, maybe adding a new folder, saying this will be a onChange change. Okay, so yeah, onChange, create, and wait for it. Okay, so let's quickly make a layout so you guys can know what can be changed. So let's create a v-stack vertical stack, so it's vertical, and yeah, let's use the vertical stack. And let's create a form that we can interact with. Okay, so a form. And I'm going to add a text field so you can enter things. Okay, so enter anything. Okay, once you enter things, I'd like you to get the user's input. So every time you enter the text, you're going to make a change, and I'm going to refresh. So thus onChange. So because I'm going to get hold of user's input, I'm going to add a state variable at here, state variable, and there will be a user input, and user input will be a string, pretty straightforward, and default value is say nothing. Okay, so let me get hold of user's input, and say I think it would be a text. Okay, and yeah, I think the I think I should put it inside, so sorry. And let's add a text. Yeah, and yeah, it did not pop up. So yeah, let me just do that manually. The text will be a binding, so $, which means it's binding, and user input. So I can get a hold of user's input and I can change it. And then I'm going to add on editing changed. So every time I edit it, I'm going to change it. Okay, so yeah, and boolean and void. Let me actually get something. So maybe edit edits in, and then I'm going to print it out. So you know what's been, maybe not edits, but rather inputs in and inputs in, maybe inputs. It's not the keyword, it's not changing color, so yeah, then I'm going to print it out. Okay, so yeah, and so every time you put the input and you got editing and change, and you can print it out. And yeah, once you submit it, because it's a task field, and you're going to submit it, and you're going to carry out a certain kind of task. And I think the onCommit should be like this. Okay, and you can print it out. Print you have submitted, I think, the form. You've submitted form, and then of course you already submitted, so you're going to change it. So you're going to add onChange and you can refresh whatever you have done to the view. All right. So, and yeah, let me demonstrate the previous method and the updated method, because the previous method is a sort of outdated. So the previous is something like this. So for example, let me use Copilot to demonstrate that, because I think the one of the disadvantage of large language model or maybe some Copilots like the autofill AI is that it's learned basically on previous data, and once some part of the syntax got changed, you haven't got the time to reflect the change in the code, so you might encounter errors pretty quickly. So let's test it out. Okay, I'm not sure that we'll get it, but let's just use Visual Studio Code, because once I open that, I can use Copilot to demonstrate that for you. Okay, so if you use Copilot, you might get something like this. Let's say whether I'm going to onChange off. Yeah, that's when we got the AI. Okay, when you enter it, you will see the deprecation was deprecated in this macOS. Yeah, use onChange with 0 action closing that. Yeah, so it will give you a prompt, but the auto completion created by Copilot was using the deprecated version, because there is a lot of training material that uses this, and that is just the current updated. So of user inputs and perform, that's a pretty typical thing. So of this user input, they are performing an action, and then I'm going to say the value, and then in print, then the value of user input is a certain value. Okay, so this is the old version of doing it. And of course, if you save it and go back to here, you can absolutely run it. You just get a annoying warning here. Okay, so let's test it out by using a simulator to do that. So let's use the latest version and run it, and let's just wait and see, because of course you need to wait a little bit in order to get our simulator running. And yeah, I think maybe I'm going to pause it to save you guys a little bit time. Okay, it turns out that I already got the up and running, but it just has another desktop, so I'm going to just click and drag it, just put that same desktop. So let's test it out. So you can click it, and then you can enter things. Okay, so we're going to enter, say, this is William Jamie's channel, so William. So every time you type in, you can just see the value of user's input is William. Okay, that is because it's got the onChange here. So every time you put it, you got the you got hold of user's input. Okay, and every time you enter things, you actually change the text field, and the onChange, you're going to print that that value. Okay, so, and of course you put this value in a string, so you can see the value of user's input. Let's look at here, and library using value number. Yeah, this doesn't really matter. Okay, when you click it, you can get it true. Yeah, so that's basically how it is done previously, but it's not what's supposed to be done right now. Okay, and of course if you press enter, you will see you have a submitted form. So this is sort of like the default functionality. If you press enter, even though you haven't get a button that can achieve the functionality of submit yet, you can still achieve the submit and print this you have submitted form. But yeah, let's add this code and make it much more conform to this new update, right? Okay, let's change that to the newer version. Okay, so I think double click it. Yeah, so let's just comment it and make another onChange, so you guys can yeah, you can see the difference. So I think the most comprehensive way of doing this onChange is adding the old value as well as the new value together. So let me show you. Off and equation equitable initial action and perform. Yeah. So say off, and this will be our user input. Okay, so as long as you got a user input change, I'm going to change it, refresh everything, and then I'm going to have two values. Okay, so there will be an old value and a new value. Okay, so old value and a new value, and in I'm going to print this is the old value, and then will be old value, and then I'm going to print this will be a new value. This is the new value, and then new value. Right, so yeah, so let's test this out. As you guys can see, as long as I change that, the warning is gone. Okay, so let's build it. Okay, so let's enter it. As long as I click it, you're going to put something that will be true and say William. Okay, so the old value nothing, and because you got a default nothing string here, and once you put W, you got this new value W, and the old value W because you already put the I here, and then every time you enter a thing, it will just update it. Okay, and of course, once you enter that, you will just submit the form, and the true just become false. Okay, and yeah, I think you can even add the initial here, so you can get the initial like the Boolean initial property, and because it's default to false unless you click it, so And of course, you can do something like this. Now, let me just show you. You can add initial, and you can just make it true. Okay, so you don't need to click it in order to true. And sorry, I need to separate that. And yeah, I think the arrow will be gone. And let me rerun that. Got it here. Okay, and yeah, so you already sort of selected here, and it's already made it true. This is not using false and true. Okay, so then you can just enter things. Okay, so yeah, then all sort of things will just update it. And yeah, and of course, if you don't want any of you don't care about whether its value is changed or not, so you can use zero argument for your closure. So let me show you. So you can just say off a certain thing, and you don't need to worry about all that. You just want to yeah, let's just copy all that and comment out. Let's just move it here. Okay, so you got the end of it, and reverse doing that, comment out. Okay, and so say you don't want to care about the old value and new value, you just delete everything. Okay, so for example, you just want to say adding a sort of animation, or so if you user type in anything and you got to say sparkling light or change of the background color or whatever you want to add, is totally okay. Right now I'm going to just print it out. Okay, so this is like the quickest way of doing it. So some animation, as long as the user got some input, and as long as the user got some input. So you're going to say, hooray, you already input something, you're using our app, and I'm going to encourage the user to do a lot of things, something like that. Okay, so you can run that, and you guys can see, because the initial is just true. Okay, so you got to initially trigger some animation if you put some animation code here, and of course you enter anything. Every time you enter a thing, you will get trigger some animation as long as user got some input. Okay, so yeah, and I think that that's pretty much all about the onChange of iOS 17. It's relatively long. I think just for a pretty short changes in this syntax, but I think it's still worth it, because you might encounter some of the changes in a pretty big project, and the essence of the change is the same. So you need to start from a very simple project in order to understand it. That's just a sort of a habit of me. If I find it's a little hard to grapple, I'll just recreate a simple project and simplify the problem, and test it out, and reapply that to a much more complex problem. Okay, so yeah, don't forget, if you're still there, I really need your help. Please subscribe to my channel, and if you think my video is helpful, please give me a thumb up, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.